Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be going over all the nice PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and PC games that are upcoming over here, and a lot of these are also coming from the announcements from the Game of the Year awards. Now, we're going to try our best to go and showcase up all the nice little trailers and discuss them and talk about them and what we're kind of expecting, and at least go and highlight the best ones out there that we've had a chance to go and see. Now, we also have a lot of cool games coming out throughout the 2023, and a lot of these are also maybe coming out in 2024, but we did at least have some pretty big AAA games and a pretty cool event yesterday. Now, besides the whole Bill Clinton thing going on, which was a little bit of a stranger one to say the least, we did at least have some cool games, some good vibes, and overall, we did know that Elden Ring did end up winning Game of the Year, which I think is somewhat deserved. So if you guys want to, maybe give your thoughts and comments on all the trailers going to showcase up throughout this video, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new $500 Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 giveaway. We also have the brand new Samsung promotion going on with a bunch of really good SSDs for the PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox, etc. Super worth it, good on sale, and of course, a Twitter and Twitch room down below for bonus entries, and Amazon and everything else signups too as well, going on all for the day itself. So make sure you guys are on top of that one. You guys can go and dive on in. So right, first and foremost, we did actually have a very intriguing trailer for this one, which it comes to the Final Fantasy 16. Now this one's probably the more, I guess, anticipated game for a lack of better sense over here. I might just do a quick little showcase up here for a second, because as we have the audio over here, you know, just in terms of the DMCA and all that. But basically, this game was looking phenomenal. Before they showed a lot of the animations and everything else kind of involved in the game itself, when it came to more of like, say, the medieval side, the political side, as you guys can kind of see on over here. But they went a lot more in terms of like animation, world building, and kind of showcasing up just more of like the big monsters, the creatures, the gods, the animations, and everything else all in between that you guys can kind of go and see with this. So this trailer is looking phenomenal, and I was a little bit skeptical so far, because I'm not really been the biggest fan of like medieval type style games and everything else, but with this it had a lot more of like a mystical element, cooler creatures, you get the little doggo that's been floating around, the animations look cool, the actual everything else ties in, these dramatic, you know, the one-on-one fights, like the magic, everything with this just looks really cool. So I myself personally super excited for this one, and it's actually shaping up to be a lot better and maybe the next upcoming game of the year. As we've gone through all these ones, they've just been nice. Like, this has been a good flow. Look at the graphics. If it's anything like this in game, it's going to be phenomenal. Now, I think a bigger one is also the Armored Core. Now, a lot of folks, I'm going to skip ahead the first few moments because there's just a dramatic sun explosion on over here, which also, once again, looked phenomenal. This one, actually, some folks were thinking it was maybe Dark Souls 4, just based on the lore, based on, like, you know, the sun, based on all of that, and they're trying to maybe make, like, a brand new, refreshed world. But when we saw this trailer, and I think we've known about this leak for a while, because I remember making a video on the Armored Core, like, 2 months ago or so, give or take. This was looking great. Now, this was, like, a lot of cool, dramatic stuff, don't get me wrong, but I was almost thinking, like, is this Death Stranding or something weird? And then I saw the From software, and I'm like, all right, makes sense. But in case you guys are curious, Armored Core has been kind of, I think, a dormant series for a while. Like I said, this kind of is more of like the multiplayer type vibe, I'd imagine, based on this and what we're seeing. We have to see proper demos and such, but the old school Armored Core games are kind of similar to this style, but not as good of graphically wise. But I'll also be very curious to see how the single player kind of comes up with it. But this was also a very nice welcome surprise, because the trailer turned out very nice and very snazzy and very beautiful, to say the least. But now, we did have some Mario Bros stuff that they showed a clip on, but Mario, that would absolutely 1000% get me DMCA'd without any doubt in my mind. We also did have a pretty cool Horizon DLC. This was expected because the first Horizon did also have their own DLC too as well. Kind of makes sense that we're expecting this and watching for this in the near future. I will be honest, I never fully beat Horizon. Did beat God of War, fantastic game, was phenomenal. Did beat Elden Ring, fantastic game, was phenomenal. Horizon, I got like quite a few hours in, but after a while, it just kind of got bored. It was kind of slogging a little bit for me. But this game was, in my honest opinion, kind of underrated all throughout the entire Game of the Year awards. There's a lot of good features, a lot of good vibes, a lot of unique aspects too as well, and I think it got somewhat stunted, kind of how they did before with the first Horizon with Breath of the Wild. But they did also go and announce up a DLC for this one too as well, as you guys can see the nice little Hollywood sign, which looks phenomenal, this one. Now, this is the one that we were also kind of rumored up for quite some time. This is the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Now, I kind of have the thought process on this one is that the original Cyberpunk, as you guys probably know, didn't really do so well. Mainly in the fact of, like, you know, the bugs, kind of sketchy launch, etc. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, let's go. But they had a really kind of sketchy launch. With this, on the trailer, and if this shows anything a bit of in terms of gameplay, I think this will be a phenomenal game. Now, I hope that they kind of learned, they fine-tuned, maybe spent the extra few months to bug fix as best as they can, and I really think that this is going to be the cyberpunk story that we all wanted originally and expected originally too. So this is probably one of the bigger ones out there as well. I'm just excited. Like, I'm really, really excited. I have a good excuse. I want a good excuse to play Cyberpunk again, and it's looking good so far. Now, we did also have some pretty cool Diablo side too as well. This was age-gated, sadly, though, but there's basically just a really cool cinematic. These are also kind of somewhat rougher to sometimes go and show, but it was really, really neat, at least to say the least. Now, we did also have some Judas. Now, Judas looked very intriguing too as well. So this is going to be technically the first release over here from the Judas side. I'm trying to get through over here. It kind of gave a lot of BioShock vibes, in case you guys are curious on all of this. Looked very nifty, very cool, very unique art style, and like I said, had a very similar flow to what we kind of expected over here from, just a lot. Like, it's weird. It's a weird game, but it seems like it's being put together enough, and the art style is unique enough, and the flow is good enough, and the colors are good enough, and whatever is going on with this one as well, kind of made me pretty excited over here for this Judas side. Now, we did also have some interesting things with, like, Among Us, Hide and Seek, kind of nifty too. Dead Cells, which I've always liked. The art style for this one's always nice and dandy. They did have the Dead Cells. Nice little update for this one. I love this game. I've beaten it quite a few times. It's like a roguelike, so it's hard to quote-unquote beat. But, it's been a fun experience nonetheless with it. We did also have Returnal, which may actually be a kind of a good talking point throughout a separate video possibly, where Returnal itself is coming back on over here for the PS5, or for PC, as you guys know, is a PS5 exclusive beforehand. We'd also go and have Hellboy over here as a little bit more of an indie showcase with this one. Didn't necessarily look too good in my opinion, visual-wise. It didn't seem bad. I don't know. I was indifferent on it. I was almost thinking it was like the Wolf of... whatever that game was, the Telltale game, like the Wolf Among Us or whatever, going from there. Now, we did also have Earthblade, which also had some nice little early gameplay with this one. Looked kind of neat, kind of cute for this one, too. This is from the same people who made Celeste, which is also a very big, popular game series. Now, we did also have a few other little baby things that we saw, like such as Street Fighter. Finally did go get its nice release date over here. This is on June 2nd. Coming out as of this year. We also did go have Tekken 2 as top of that. So just in case you guys are more, I feel like this almost seems like the year of fighting games. We might have some Mortal Kombat as well show up in the next few, maybe a few months as well, because I think there was also some rumors with Mortal Kombat. So this might just be the year of maybe not as many other proper multiplayer games, although there was a few cool ones that were showcased on up. This might be just the year itself for that one. Now, we did also go and have a nice homage over here to the Suicide Squad for Batman, where they had Batman go and showing up with a nice little, segues with this one too. Kind of nifty. I'm not really the most intrigued on over here for the Suicide Squad game, but it was kind of cool to have the homage, and they had a nice little... thank you for voicing Batman at the very tail end of this one too, which is always very nice to go and see. Now, we did also have Hades 2, which we thought the name was a little bit on the unoriginal side, to be fully honest. But Hades did go and have a little bit of gameplay to go and showcase off over here. And I'm sure you guys know Hades was a pretty good game at the end of the day. A lot of folks really enjoyed Hades and thought it was a proper good thumbs up of a game itself. So you guys can look on this one and see this one too. That was also properly announced. Death Stranding, which was probably one of the bigger ones out here, although this trailer was all over the place, which was kind of expected for a Kojima game. This one, I have a very big fondness because it was such a unique game from the first Death Stranding, and I think this will be a very good game, as long as it makes sense. It probably won't, but everything else will be cool. It almost kind of seemed like more of a futuristic game, because we saw, the good Norman Reedus over here looking a little bit older. You could kind of see the gray going on, still looking good for his character too. And then you just kind of saw some of the similar, even armor looks like it got a little bit more updated too from some of the baddies over here as they're going through their BB's theme. But you guys can kind of see they have same BB style, but a little bit more slim fit, looks a little bit nicer, looks cooler. Kind of a weird thing to go and push for, but you can tell this game is going to be a very cool game. We also did have the official Jedi Survivors. Wasn't the craziest trailer known to man, but we did have a lot of gameplay being showcased up with it. It looked kind of cool. I mean, I kind of liked it. I mean, I never really played the first one. I played and saw a little bit of it, but kind of like Dark Souls, Jedi vibes. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. We just got to hope it turns out pretty good. We also did have the Dune MMO, which is kind of maybe a Conan Exiles type game. We've seen a little bit more of this before. It didn't really look that good. Blue Protocol did actually ready to go and do its nice little announcement coming over here for the second half of 2023. Some of you guys are weebs out here like me. You guys will probably go and enjoy this one too. and there was a few other little smaller games tied on in with it, but some of these were the biggest ones. So I'm kind of giving you a quick scroll through with it as we've kind of gone through most of these. There's also some nifty multiplayer games and some other cool things that I'm looking out for too, but these were the biggest ones out here, like Jedi Survivors, Death Stranding 2, the fighting games, and it was kind of nice to go and see. And then Diablo, Cyberpunk, like there was enough. Like it kind of like there was like a decent amount of stuff. So let me know what you guys think, or if there's any games you guys are specifically excited for, or your thoughts on the Game of the Award show itself. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and $500 giveaway going on. Samsung links down below for their awesome sales going on for your PS5 or PC, and we have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below. Amazon links too, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.